Hey guys, it's Amy.
It's Kayla, and we are two Virgos, one table.
Alrighty, guys. Originally, we did have a different special guest planned. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, we were not able to have her on this episode. So instead, we have Courtney, who is the owner and curator of Occultified, which we referenced that sponsor in our first episode.
Hey, Courtney, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
So, I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your shop.
Okay, well, I am the owner of Occultified, as Amy stated earlier. It is a small apothecary slash curiosity store. I started off my own personal altar 4 years ago. We just opened our first storefront about 2 months ago, and we specialize in all things occult.
So, what first inspired you to start Occultified?
Well, I've been practicing for a really long time, about 20 years now. I had a lot of friends that were also interested in the occult and the esoteric, and they would come to me to curate items. I would mentor them on their journey and their path, and that kind of cost money. I ran out of supplies quickly, so I just started investing in those things for my friends and making Sabbath boxes and hosting classes to teach people, and here we are.
That's amazing.
So you mentioned that you do classes. Do you have any upcoming classes, or what kind of classes can we expect from Occultified this year?
Well, we actually just did a class on Saturday. It was our first spell jar workshop, and
Mm-hmm.
I gave them a couple of intentions. They picked their ingredients. We got together, had charcuterie. It was a really good time. In the past, I have done candle or cord cutting classes.
Mm-hmm.
We've done corn dog classes. Upcoming, we have Hot Girl Summer coming up actually in June. June 20th, we're going to be learning about glamour magic, and I'm going to teach everybody how to infuse their own glamour anointing oils. So that's going to be a pretty good time. I think we also have one more class coming up, the Money Rice workshop in, was that May? Have to
Mm-hmm.
get those details together, but right now that's what we're looking at.
As somebody who attended your spell jar class and I plan to attend most of your classes, I love your classes, so I'm very excited.
I'm glad you feel that way.
So I know that you have a full-time job on top of Occultified, plus you're a mom. How do you manage or juggle all of that just in general?
Fuck if I know. I just wake up and do it. I'm a Capricorn sun. That's just what we do.
Those are earth signs.
Yeah.
So I do think that that is a good segue into what we are talking about today. So as the podcast is called, Two Virgos, One Table, both Kayla and I are Virgos. So I do want to say that regardless of whatever your sun sign is, everyone has a different birth chart with other signs that influence them. So, how something may present itself in one person does not always align with how it may present itself in another. Whereas, like, I am very analytical and literal. I don't believe that Kayla is like that, but Kayla also has a different birth chart than I do. And so she has those other signs to influence her.
So, Courtney, why do you think that is?
Well, I know you guys both share the same sun, but I doubt you guys share the same moon and rising signs. Kayla, do you know what your moon and rising signs are?
Cancer and Cancer.
Okay, yeah, that explains a lot.
I'm very sensitive.
Amy, what are your moon and rising signs?
Well, after the comment you made about Kayla, I'm a little scared. I'm a Pisces moon and a Sagittarius rising.
Oh, geez. Okay, all right, all right. So let me give you some insight on that. So your sun represents your overall core identity. The moon represents your emotions and intuition. And your rising or ascendant sign represents your outward demeanor or the mask you wear in front of others. So, for example, as a Capricorn sun, at my core, I'm hardworking, ambitious, grounded, and cautious. But as a Scorpio moon, I am deeply emotional and intense, prone to secrecy and obsession. And as a Leo rising, people often see me as confident, charming, and high energy. And I don't really feel that way.
I think they just call that BPD.
So I have BBD too. So what does it all mean, anyways? But Kayla, as a Cancer moon,
Uh-oh.
you're nurturing, you're
Aw.
family oriented, and you're sensitive. But as a Cancer rising, that means you don't hide it. That is, you don't wear a mask, and that's awesome. I love that.
It makes it really great for family functions.
That you are, you're sweet. People love you. People, are radiate towards your energy.
I agree.
Literal joy personified. Now, Amy,
Uh-oh.
your moon sign is Pisces
Why are you laughing?
because, like, it's right, but I mean, I wouldn't have nailed you as a Pisces.
I think that's because you know me very, very well. But also, like, as we talk about this more, you'll see that, like, I hide a lot of that,
So, I mean, are you empathetic?
unfortunately.
Are you a little emotional, a little crybaby at home?
Busted.
In my room late at night when nobody can see. In the shower, maybe?
Yeah. Well, speaking of your mask, you're direct, you're humorous, and you're enthusiastic. I can agree with all of those things.
Oh, 100%. Super direct.
But you know what's crazy is we all share water moon signs. That means we're all
Ooh.
deeply intuitive.
We're all connected. We're earth signs and we're sun, earth signs, and water moon signs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you don't already know, and as we've kind of talked about previously, the like Google definition of a Virgo is that Virgo is an earth sign known for its practicality, organization, and analytical nature. It is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of intellect and communication. Virgos are highly detail-oriented, intelligent, and methodical. They are seen as perfectionists. They're motivated by structure and order with a desire to help others.
I feel like that's a very accurate description of me, especially the analytical.
I can definitely agree to that for me because, like, I know that within, like, my everyday life, if something is said by anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, and it's wrong, I have to correct them.
Oh, we know.
I have to. If something takes over my body, like I get possessed, I immediately just like, no, you're wrong.
For me, I have my biggest downside of being a Virgo, and I have to say this, is like I run my house like a tight ship. And so if people don't follow all the procedures, I lose my shit completely on everybody. Typically my husband, not really the kids, but
Are you sure you don't have BPD?
I might. Honestly, I think I'm a self-diagnosed BPD.
Another, like, to build off of that is I just like to produce quality work in general. And so, like, if the procedure isn't followed, I don't believe that you did it to its full, like, extent, or you even did it correctly. Even, like, people who do things differently, I'm like, no, why did you do it like that?
So Courtney, how, as a Capricorn, do you relate to that?
Well, I'm also a perfectionist. Um, I thrive when my environment is stable. I would say I run a tight ship at the house when it comes to, like, I'm a very lax parent, but I keep my house very clean and organized. Um, I see my faults in my stubbornness to let go of some of those things that I feel have to be done procedurally. And like I force myself, like exposure therapy, to
Oh yeah.
let it go a little bit. So I would agree that, pretty routine. However, I have learned to be a little bit more flexible. So those negative or qualities don't impact, let's say, my child or my boyfriend.
So even though you thrive well in a stable environment, would you say that you're level-headed in a crisis?
I don't know. Do you guys think I'm level-headed in a crisis? I think I'm snappy in a crisis. I think I get frustrated when my vision is not executed, especially in a crisis when I'm like, A, B, C needs done and somebody's doing it C, B, A. I get real frustrated and real upset.
I feel like with the right team, and I've seen this with you before when we've worked on different projects together, is you have a very high level skill of being able to, I'm not saying boss people around or command people, but you're able to delegate and lead with like fierce energy, but everyone knows that you have good intentions and everyone is like, okay, I've got my part. She's got her part. I'm doing my part, you know.
I wonder if that has anything to do with me immediately apologizing for being a bitch right after.
So you're not
That's also
being
the BPD. One thing that, like, when it comes to being in a crisis, I do feel like I am, like you said, I get frustrated, but I kind of internalize that frustration until the problem is solved. And so I may be frustrated with myself or like the situation, but regardless of my frustration, I am actively working on solving the issue. And if the issue is not solved, we cannot go to sleep that day.
Right.
I'm the same way. I get really frustrated if I can't solve a problem, although I'm more sensitive than you are. So I will like whine about it the whole time.
I think also, like, if you come to me and you call and you say, hey, this is what's going on in my life, you have to tell me that you just want to vent. You cannot come at me with an issue and expect me not to try to solve it. If you want to vent, tell me that beforehand. Otherwise, I am either A, trying to fix it, or B, trying to give you advice on how to prevent it from happening again.
You know how I respond in those situations when I am feeling similar. I straight up ask, are you in a place of feedback, of solutions, or are you in a place that you need to vent? And that's a really good way for me to distinguish what kind of friend I need to be to somebody when they are in a crisis.
I really like that you're able to do that. My struggle is that I don't always ask that. And I try to make a good habit of that, but it's something that I don't ask people every single time. And I should, because I would probably avoid so many issues.
What's that saying about assumptions? You make an ass out of you and me.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to be the ass. The other thing with me being a Virgo is I have to be on time. I cannot be late. If I'm late, I am in a psychosis. Something is wrong. I have gotten into a car accident. I have died. Like, there is something severely wrong with me if I'm late. And so it makes it really hard for me with other signs. If they're not the type of person to be on time, I get stressed out. Courtney.
I feel that. I am notoriously late, even when I meticulously plan out every detail so I can be somewhere on time. Something happens and I am basically always running 15 minutes behind.
Is that because of your sign, or is that because of you being a mom?
Definitely because of me being a mom, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like even on days, I'm not going to put it all on her. Even on days I don't
Right.
have my kid, I need an extra 5 minutes to myself before I can go people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do that. I'm actually so anxious. Like, if I don't have PTO, I won't call out of work. I have to like plan it in advance. And if I'm sick, I'm still going to work.
I feel that. I have like 3 weeks of PTO I could use right
Yeah.
now.
I think me and you both like stockpile our PTO as much as possible. And then at the end of the year, we just take a mass like time off.
You never know when you're going to need a grippy sock vacation.
I need one today. I'm also like super overly organized. And so like even my bills, I have my every bill for every month, I have it in a notes app. So that way I pay it at least 1 month in advance because I'm so scared of being late
Oh my
that
gosh.
I pay everything a month in advance.
That's so funny. I wish I could do that, but I have a husband and kids. And it literally drives me insane. Like I'm doing mental gymnastics every week, trying to juggle all the bills for my home, office, everything. And it's exhausting because if I could like live in a perfect world, everything would literally be on time. I would have all my shit paid way in advance as well.
Right. The economy's tough. Amy's over here, no kids, no responsibilities except a dog,
Right.
a couple
Hey, that dog is a
adult
dependent,
family
okay?
members. And then, I mean, so it makes sense.
No, for sure. And by no means, like, is that the way it should be done all the time? It's just me personally, I
Yeah.
cannot function by waiting for a deadline or anything like that. I have to, as soon as I get my check, I'm deducting those amounts
A lot of that's going to
immediately.
play into your moon sign too.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question. Are you guys list takers?
I take a lot of lists every day.
So I take lists, but I don't always reference the list. The list happens and then the list is ignored.
You get forget it on the fridge at home when you're going grocery shopping.
It's forgotten probably in the trash.
I make lists for my lists.
Literally.
No, I'm not kidding. It's embarrassing.
I have lists from like 10 years ago. I still find I'm like, you never know when I need to repeat this routine or get these same things. I'm going to keep it just in
Right?
case.
Just in case.
Filed away in a folder marked lists.
In your file cabinet that you bought for home.
And then you have a list of the folders.
Labeled
Which
on all the
one?
drawers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, Courtney, you've been giving us so much feedback and insight about astrology. Do you offer any classes at Occultified with astrology?
Ugh, that's a little overambitious. We don't right now. I really like the hands-on aspects of the workshops we've had so far,
Yeah.
but that is something I would consider in the future.
Well, you do have an upcoming workshop, like we stated earlier, the Glamour Magic workshop, which is iconically named Hot Girl Summer. So excited. June 20th, 6 to 8 p.m. So guys, make sure to either stop by Occultified or visit the website at occultified.net to purchase your tickets.
And thank you again, Courtney, so much for coming on our show. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having us. And sidebar on the tickets, they will sell out. Our last class sold out about 3 weeks before we even had it. So if you want them, get them in now.
I already bought mine.
Of course you did.